welcome to Preschool Storytime. Sorry to all my friends at home, I forgot to turn my microphone on. But I'm so glad that you're at home watching me, and I'm so glad to have friends here today. So friends, I like to start my story times with a hello song to help me get my body ready to listen to books and sing songs. So we're gonna start with a greeting, and then we're gonna do stretching, and we're gonna cross our arms, and we're gonna take deep breaths to get our bodies ready, okay? So it goes like this. Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today? Okay, let's get our hands ready, because my hands are feeling kind of wiggly. Hi, hello, and clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Hi, hello, and clap your hands. Clap your hands today. So I'm going to get my arms ready. I'm going to stretch up high. Hi, hello, and stretch up high. Stretch up high. Stretch up high. Hi, hello, and stretch up high. Stretch up high today. Now I'm going to get my brain ready so it can focus on all the yummy pie stories. Hi, hello, and cross your arms. Cross your arms. Cross your arms. Hi, hello, and cross your arms. Cross your arms today. Now I'm going to get my whole body ready. I'm going to breathe in deep. Hi, hello, and breathe in deep. Breathe in deep. Breathe in deep. Hi, hello, and breathe in deep. Breathe in deep today. Oh, that's fun. I now feel so ready for stories. Today, friends, we're talking about pie. Raise your hand if you like to eat pie. Raise your hand if you like to eat apple pie, or cherry pie, or pumpkin pie, or lemon meringue, or has anybody had a grape pie before? I had a grape pie the other day, and it was delicious. I highly recommend a grape pie. So today we're reading pie stories, and we're singing pie songs.
That is like grape pie purple.
It is. It does it could be a grape pie or a blackberry pie or maybe a plum pie. And then we're going to do a pie craft afterwards. So if you want to stay after the stories, you can go in that room, and I have all kinds of fun stuff for you to do to make your own pie. A pretend pie, of course. So the first book I want to read to you is called An Apple Pie for Dinner. I like apple pie. I like to eat it with ice cream. This is retold by Susan Van Heck, and it's illustrated by Carol Baker McKee. I do vanilla with an apple pie.
I like talking about grape pie for my TV.
Oh, see, you know it's good.
And I like chocolate pie. Robert likes vanilla.
I like all kinds of pie. Here is Granny Smith. One day, old Granny Smith wanted an apple pie for dinner. She looked around her cozy kitchen. She had flour and butter. She had sugar and spices. There's one thing she didn't have. What do you think you need for an apple pie? Apples. She didn't have any apples. Granny Smith had plums, lots of plums, a tree full of purple plums. But you can't make an apple pie from plums. I might find someone who has apples but needs plums, Granny thought. So she filled a big basket with plums from her tree. Then she put on her bonnet, she put on her shawl, and she set off. Soon, Granny met some chickens and a goose in the road. Cluck, cluck, honk, honk, the noisy birds squawked. A young woman was feeding them. I have some plums, Granny said to the woman, but I need some apples. Do you have any apples? Oh, my family likes plum jam the best, the woman said, but all I have are feathers. Will you take feathers for your plums? Yes, said kind old Granny, if the plums will make your family happy. And she traded her purple plums for a bag of fluffy feathers. Thank you, said the woman. Granny smiled and continued on her way. So she's making trades. Soon, Granny came to a beautiful garden where she heard a girl and a boy arguing. Cotton, yelled the girl. Straw, shouted the boy. May I help? Asked Granny. Mama is making a pillow. I think cotton is the best stuffing. My brother thinks straw is best, said the girl. Feathers make the best stuffing, said Granny. They're softer than cotton and straw. Here. Granny reached into her basket. She gave the bag of fluffy feathers to the children. Thank you, they said. I'm looking for apples, Granny said. Do you have any? We don't have any apples, said the two children, but here are some sweet-smelling flowers. Granny smiled and continued on her way. I wonder if she's ever going to get any apples. I bet she is too. Soon Granny met a young prince dressed in his finest clothes. He was going to see his lady love, but he looked sad. May I help you? Asked Granny. I forgot the ring for my lady. It's too late to turn back, so I have no gift for her, said the prince. Ooh, he is in trouble. Here's a gift for her, said Granny. She handed the prince the sweet-smelling flowers. Thank you, he said. I'm looking for apples, said Granny. Do you have any? I don't have apples, the prince said, but here's a gift for you. He gave Granny a gold coin from his pocket. Granny smiled and continued on her way.
You can't put a gold coin in an apple pie.
No, that wouldn't taste very good. Soon she came to a yard where a mother and her children were crying. What's the matter? Granny asked. We're hungry, sobbed the mother. We have no money for food. Take this, said Granny. She gave the mother the gold coin. Use it to buy food. Thank you, the mother said. I'm looking for apples, Granny said. Do you know where I might find some? We don't have any apples, said the children, but we have pups that need good homes. Granny put a small brown dog in her basket. She smiled and continued on her way. So now she has a puppy. Soon Granny came to a house where she saw an old man sitting on a bench. He looked unhappy. I'm lonely, he cried. You need a dog to keep you company, Granny said. She lifted the puppy from her basket. Woof, woof. The puppy ran to the man and jumped in his lap. Thank you, said the old man. I'm looking for apples, Granny said. Do you have any? Yes, said the old man. I grow them in my orchard. And he took her to some apple trees. Thank you, Granny said. She filled her basket with shiny apples.
I thought that would happen.
Granny smiled and set off for home. On her way, she invited everyone she had met to follow her. In Granny's kitchen, they all worked together to bake a pie. They peeled and sliced the apples. They added some spices. They rolled out the dough and filled the crust. Then Granny popped the pie in the oven. Soon the pie was done. The crust was golden brown. The juices bubbled. The warm smell of cinnamon filled the kitchen. Guys, we might be real hungry at the end of the story time. Everyone sat down and said, Yum, yum, what a delicious pie. Granny looked around the table and smiled. If you try, Granny said to herself, you can always have an apple pie for dinner. And together they ate every last crumb. And at the end of this book is a recipe. So if you check this book out, you can go home and make an apple pie. So wouldn't that be yummy? The end. We're going to do 3 books today, and we're going to do some songs too. So I thought we could sing some songs about pie. Have you ever heard the song 3 Blind Mice? Yeah. 3 blind mice. Well, I have a song, but it's about pies instead. It goes like this. I'll sing it first, and then I'll sing it twice, and you guys can help me the next time, okay? It goes like this. Pies, 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 yummy, yummy pies, yummy, yummy pies, pumpkin, blueberry, and cherry too, apple and key lime to name a few, chocolate, lemon, how about you? I love pie, that's no lie. Okay, you guys want to sing with me this time? You can even echo me if you want. Pies, pies, pies. Pies, pies, pies. Yummy, yummy pies. Pumpkin, blueberry, and cherry too. Apple and key lime to name a few. Chocolate, lemon, how about you? I love pie. That's no lie. Nope. Okay, and now I have a poem to say to you guys. Do you guys ever hear nursery rhymes? Nursery rhymes are poems and rhymes that have been told a long, long time. And this one's called Sing a Song of Sixpence. Okay, it has some funny words in it, so we can talk about them. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before a king? So they put birds, 24 birds, into a pie, and when the pie was opened, all the birds came out. That's not as tasty as an apple pie. The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when along came a blackbird and pecked off her nose. So one of those birds they put in the pie came by and poop, ate her nose. So the lesson of that story is don't put live birds in a pie. I think that's what that is about. I know, wouldn't that be funny? I never do that. Okay, the next book I'm going to read to you is called Tiny Pie. So we ate a big pie for everybody. Let's bake a tiny pie since we're still a little full. It's by Mark Bailey and Michael Oatman. All righty, Tiny Pie. Once upon a nighttime, there was a party on Elephant Lane. It was not a birthday party, a holiday party, or a tea party. It was a grown-up party, you know, for big people. But for little people, there was little fun. And for little Ellie, there was none. She had been told to stay out of the way or else to go to bed. She chose not to go to bed. Then Nellie got hungry. She knew this because her tummy told her so. It said, rumble, rumble, rumble. Ellie asked her mother, Mama, oopa-doopa-doo. Shh, Ellie, said her mother, please stay out of the way. This is a grown-up party. She asked her father, Da-da, stoopa-loopa-loo. Ellie, I think it's time for bed, said her father. You are too little to be up so late. But rumble, 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 said Ellie's stomach again. She was still hungry. It's hard to go to bed when you're hungry.
I watched like that one was like taking a giant piece of ranch clothes, and all she got for dinner is like 3 chip crumbs.
Oh no. Ellie walked into the kitchen. If only she was tall enough to reach the counter, then she could reach the cookie jar. If only she was strong enough to open the freezer, then she could grab an ice cream bar. But it seemed as though everything was for big people. Or was it? What do you think she noticed? Who probably lives in there? Probably a mouse. Hello out there in TV land. Welcome to the Hole in the Kitchen Wall, a cooking show for everyone, especially the small. In this episode, we are going to bake in just under an hour, a tasty treat, savory and sweet, that starts with unbleached flour. Now, I can see you wondering, is this something I can do? But if you're big enough to eat dessert, then you can make it too. Do you guys get to ever help out in the kitchen?
Yeah, I always do. Me too.
I think it's fun. You have to be careful, but it can be a lot of fun. So if anyone big ever comes up to you and asks, what good are you? What good are your tiny eyes? What can you see? Just tell them you see paws with itsy bitsy claws as busy as can be. I did have mice at my house recently, so this book is kind of hard to read because I did see lots of itsy bitsy tiny claws. I know, and I was not happy if they made a pie. And if they ask, what good are your tiny ears? What can you hear? Tell them you hear apples on a chopping block, but please be careful, dear. He's making apple pie. And if they ask, what good is your tiny nose? What can you sniff? Tell them you smell melted butter and cinnamon. Why don't you take a whiff? So what kind of pie is he making? Apple. He was chopping apples and he added cinnamon and butter. And if they ask, what good are your tiny hands? What can you touch? You say, it's round and warm and very small. Just don't take too much. It was a pie. And when they ask, what good is your tiny mouth? What can you taste? Shout out, it's tiny pie. It's tiny pie. It sure won't go to waste. Aw, he made a little tiny pie. This is what my house looked like. It was not a party. Now come and join our party at the hole in the kitchen wall, where a pie was made in under an hour by bakers not so tall. Your friends are here in best of cheer, and they are glad to say, parties are for everyone because we all know how to play. And if anyone ever asks, what good is your tiny heart? What can you wish? Just tell them. Look, she fell asleep. Whether you are big, small, short, or tall, you will always find your perfect dish. And they baked happily ever after. The end. And look, this one also has a recipe for pies. Man, who needs a cookbook? Tiny pie. Wasn't that cute? Have you guys ever seen videos of where they make tiny, tiny food? That's what it reminds me of.
I don't have any.
You don't? Well, I have a poem. You saw the alphabet on here. So I thought I found a poem about the alphabet and a pie. So the alphabet are all waiting, and I put out a pie. Says A, give me a good large slice. Says B, a little bit, but nice. Says C, cut me a piece of crust. Take it, says D, it's dry as dust. Says E, I'll eat it fast. I will, says F, I vow to have my fill. Says G, give it to me, good and great. Says H, a little bit I hate, so he wants a big piece. Says I, it's ice I must request. Says J, the juice I love best. I'm with J, that's my favorite part of the pie. Says K, let's keep it up above. Says L, the border's what I love. Says M, it makes your teeth to chatter. Says N, it's nice, there's not the matter. Says O, others' plates with grief surveyed. P, turn my paper over, for a large piece begged and prayed. Q quarreled for the topmost slice. R rubbed his hands and said, it's nice. S silent sat and simply looked. T thought and said, it's nicely cooked. U understood the fruit was cherry. V vanished when they all got merry. W wished there'd be a quince. In X, here explained, he need convincing. Y said, I'll eat and yield to none. Z, like a zany, said he'd done, while ampersand purloined the dish and another pie did wish. An ampersand is like an and sign. Alrighty, so each letter wanted a piece of pie. Some wanted big pieces and some wanted little pieces. If you wanted a big piece of pie, raise your hand. If you only want a little piece of pie, raise your hand. If you'd rather not have any pie, raise your hand. You know pie for you? That's okay. I'll eat your slice. We'll share it. Okay, this song is to the tune of If You're Happy and You Know It. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Filled with apples all around, with the crust so warm and brown. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. This time we're going to sing it with cherry. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. We're filled with cherries all around, with the crust so warm and brown. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. What should we be filled with this time?
Blackberries.
Blackberries. And then we'll do blueberries. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Filled with blackberries and blueberries all around, with the crust so warm and brown. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Okay, one more time. What should it be this time?
Bananas.
Banana pie? What else? What else? Blueberries? Plum? What else can we put in our pie? Strawberry? Well, okay, this is going to be a big pie. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Filled with bananas, blueberries, plums, strawberries, apples, and grapes. With the crust so warm and brown. Oh, I wish I were a little piece of pie. Yum, yum. Woo!
The last one was my favorite.
Was it? Well, that reminds me of our last book. It's called Sweet Dream Pie. And in a sweet dream pie, they put a lot of stuff in here. I saved the best book for last, friends. This is my favorite book. This is not a book we have at the library. This is a book I bought from home. And I've been trying to talk Miss Emily into buying it for a picture book collection, but it was out of print. So I'm sorry, you're just getting a little treat. It's by Audrey Wood and Mark Teague. It's called Sweet Dream Pie. So you can tell this book is well loved because I brought it from home. It was almost dawn on Willoughby Street when Pa Brindle lit the lantern and led Ma Brindle up to their dark attic to an old trunk draped in cobwebs. I haven't slept a wink tonight, Pa said. I've been craving a piece of sweet dream pie, just like the one you made me long ago. The last time I made that pie, you ate too much, Ma grumbled, and your dreams weren't sweet. She's giving him that look. Pa Brindle blew the cobwebs off the trunk, then threw it open, and all the cats in the neighborhood opened one eye. An enormous mixing bowl, a great rolling pin, a gigantic pie pan, and a small brass bell glistened in the lantern light. I'll be good this time, Pa promised. One big piece of sweet dream pie, that's all I want. Well, then, I'll make it, and you help, Ma agreed. But if things get out of hand, don't blame me. That's some weird stuff to say about a pie. The Brindles carried the extra-large utensils down to the kitchen and began to make the pie. When the dough was ready, Ma rolled it out on the table. And when she did, all the people on Willoughby Street, including little Amy McPherson, rolled out of their beds and onto their floor. So she's rolling pie, and everybody's rolling out of bed. Next, Ma fashioned 2 great pie crusts. Then the Brindles began to toss every sweet thing they could find into the enormous mixing bowl. Gumdrops flew through the air and rained down with marshmallows, candy corn, cinnamon hots, chewing gum, chocolate drops, butterscotch, licorice sticks, lollipops, sugar cubes, jelly beans, candy sprinkles, cookies, and more. Whew. Now that's a pie. Do you think that would taste good? No. I don't know. That seems to be a lot. The licorice is giving me pause. Clouds of powdered sugar drifted out of the window into the street. A chocolate tornado sprang up and whirled out the door, knocking Johnny Luntz, who was trying to deliver newspapers, off his bicycle. What would you do if you saw a chocolate tornado? I'd probably just stand there and open up. The enormous mixing bowl began to glow. A thick, sweet syrup bubbled up and oozed down the sides. The Brindles poured the filling into the giant pie pan, then wrestled the top crust into place. Ma crimped the edges, and Pa poked the steam holes. The crust began to move, as if things inside were trying to get out. Pa shoved the pie into the oven and slammed the door. Quickly, he turned the oven dial past bake, broil, and roast to a setting that simply said special. My oven doesn't have that. Something's happening with this pie. As the sun rose, the oven warmed and a heat wave hit Willoughby Street. It was too hot to go to work or school, so everyone stayed home doing cool things. Even Mary Chubb, who had never missed a day at the library in 15 years, lounged beneath her sunflower. By noon, the delicious smell of Ma Brindle's sweet dream pie blanketed the neighborhood with a blissful aroma. Everyone was simply drooling to taste that pie. Even baby Robbie stuck out his tongue, thinking he could lick the sweetness from the air. The heat wave raged on into the afternoon. It was so hot, all the air conditioners stopped working. Whew, that would be rough. No one was cool except for Perry Arbuckle, who filled the tub in his conservatory with ice cubes and sat in it. Now that would cool you off if you sat in a tub of ice cubes. As the sun set, the sweet dream pie browned and the sky burned a fiery red above Willoughby Street. It was too hot to eat much, so everyone just picked at dinner and thought about the pie cooking in Ma's kitchen. Mm-mm-mm. That evening, all the neighbors found an excuse to stop by the Brindles' house. Pa set up tables and colored lights outside and invited everyone to stay and share his special dessert. They all were thrilled, except little Amy McPherson. Amy could eat no pie because it made her sneeze. The dogs jumped up and began to chase their tails. Ma Brindle rang the small brass bell. "It's time for sweet dream pie," she called. Pa Brindle and Johnny Luntz carried the pie and sat down. Okay, the pie is ready. Do you think they're going to like it? Is it going to taste good? It's a big pie. Steam rose up from the pie, and a thick fog settled over the neighborhood. Standing side by side, the Brindles blew upon the pie to cool it. A welcome breeze sprang up, whirling napkins and party plates into the air and clearing the fog. For the first time in 13 hours, Willoughby Street cooled down. Ma cut the pie as the neighbors lined up. Whew, they have relief from that heat. "Now be careful," she warned. "This pie is very rich. One piece is all you need." No one had ever tasted anything like Ma Brindle's sweet dream pie. It was so sweet. Happy tears just rolled down everyone's cheeks. "Don't eat too much," Ma kept saying. "Only one piece or you'll be sorry." But no one listened. They all helped themselves to sweet thirds and fourths. Pa Brindle broke his promise. He gobbled down sweet sixths and even sevenths. Poor Inky King ate so much he looked like he had swallowed a bowling ball. Could you imagine eating 6 pieces of pie? I love pie, but I don't think I could love pie that much. When Myrtle Murphy's parrot pecked up the last crumb, a hush fell upon Willoughby Street. The neighbors thanked Ma and Pa for sharing their wonderful pie. Suddenly, all they wanted to do was go home and snuggle in their cozy beds. Some made it and others dozed along the way. That's Ma Brindle. Ma Brindle shook her head in dismay. After all that sweetness, she said, no one will rest well tonight. Then she went inside to get her broom. That's a weird thing to get, her broom. That's when the dreaming began. Pa Brindle's dream was the first to pop out. Bigger than a dump truck, it galloped through the neighborhood, whistling for others to follow. Dreams of every shape, size, and color drifted up from their dreamers and began to sport and play. All the dreamers on Willoughby Street tossed and turned in their restless sleep. So their dreams got so wild, they popped on out. That's what happens when you eat too much pie. Could you imagine if these were your dreams just galloping along? Ma Brindle had never seen so many wild dreams. They were everywhere and into everything. The dreams were too happy and too excited, doing things they shouldn't do. When enough was enough, Ma took up her broom and began to sweep, sweep, sweep until she had swept away every last dream from Willoughby Street. All of the dreamers, including Pa Brindle, sighed with relief and finally settled in for a good night's sleep. Woo, these dreams. Ma Brindle had to get them into shape. From her bedroom window, little Amy McPherson watched it all, and for once in her life, she was glad she could eat no pie. The end. So maybe we'll have to make some sweet dream pie one day, but I don't know. It was a lot of candy. A lot of candy in that pie. Okay, I have a flannel rhyme to tell you, and then I have something fun. I'm going to let you all have rhythm sticks, and we're going to rhythm stick to a song, okay? Oh, that's my job. You sit back and enjoy the poem. Okay. One whole pie set by the door, cut into pieces. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces of pie, all for me. I ate 1 piece. Now there are 3. 3 pieces of pie, 4 me took. I ate another piece. Now there are 2. 2 pieces of pie. Oh, what fun. I ate another piece. Now there's 1 piece of pie. I can't wait. I ate that last piece. Empty plate. I feel like Pa Brindle. Okay, everybody sit down real quietly. Miss Emily's going to come around and let you have a rhythm stick, and we're going to sing to a favorite song of mine called No More Pie by Miss Ella Jenkins. If you haven't heard of Miss Ella Jenkins, she's fabulous. She sang all kinds of songs for kiddos and adults in the 60s. Her name is Ella Jenkins. So we're going to get to use our rhythm sticks. So
You need to go find some more real quick.
they're right. Yeah, they're in the back. Miss Emily's going to get more rhythm sticks. Do you guys know how to play rhythm sticks? So you very gently, you hold one like this, and you're just going to pound. So while we're waiting for Miss Emily to get more, we'll practice on our rhythm sticks. So it's called rhythm sticks because you get a rhythm. You don't just, that's kind of loud and noisy, but a rhythm stick, you kind of play like this. Or maybe you play like this. Bump, 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 bump. So wait for your sister. You guys sit on your bottom with the rhythm sticks. We don't want anybody to get hurt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a fun rhythm to. 1, 2, 4, 5. Or we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can just play different rhythms. I think for this song we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Another fun part of this song is that it's a call and repeat. So Miss Ella's going to sing the first part, and then we can all sing the second part. So if you don't know the words, it's okay because Miss Ella's going to teach it to us. So it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Mr. Brian, I think we are ready. Oh my, I want a piece of pie. The pie's too sweet. I want a piece of meat. The meat's too red. I want a piece of bread. The bed's too brown. I gotta go to town. The town's too far. I got to take a car. The car's too slow. I fell and stubbed my toe. Toe's got a pain. I got to take a train. The train had a wreck. I nearly broke my neck. Oh my, no more pie. Oh my, no more pie. Thank you, Mr. Bryant. We almost couldn't hear it though. Do you guys like that song? I wish we could have heard it a little bit louder, but that's okay. We'll get that worked out for next week. Before we sing our goodbye song, I wanted to show you guys what the craft is going to look like. It's a pie. So I have paper plates, and I have different colors. So you can pick what you want to make in your pie. You can make a grape pie, a blackberry pie, an apple pie, a cherry pie, or maybe you want to make a sweet dream pie where you put all the colors in there. A watermelon pie? That would be yummy. Miss Emily's coming around for your rhythm sticks. So I'm going to sing our goodbye song, and then I'm going to let you go in there, and you can spend time making pie. There's brown strips for the crust, and there's colors for the fruit. So that'll be really fun. I'm so glad you guys could come today, and I hope we see you next week. We're so excited to be back in person and to sing with you guys and to play instrument with you guys. Oh, I just love it. So this song is my goodbye song. It goes like this. Thanks for sitting. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming here today. Now that story time is over, hope you have a lovely day. So thank you, friends. Give your sticks to Miss Emily, and then you can go right through the craft door. I'll show you all the craft stuff. So this is the nice part. We just get to go right through here, and it's already set up and ready.